Hi everyone, my name's Nahir. I am a recent graduate of Tufts University. I just studied computer science and astrophysics. And what brought me to advanced space is going to space vision conferences over the past 3 years through my school and finding out about the company via their appearance at those conferences, and then talking to people there, connecting, and then now joining on the team.
My name is Austin Bodine. I'm a second-year PhD student at the University of Colorado Boulder. I was very interested in advanced space, just knowing that it's a very unique company positioned doing mission design and navigation, but just as a smaller company environment. So that really excited me.
Hi, my name is Athurv. I'm a navigation intern this summer, and what brought me to advanced space was interactions with people who had worked here, honestly. First time I heard of advanced space was at a student conference called Space Vision. I spoke to a couple of the people that worked here after a panel, and I was kind of exposed to a lot of the really cool work that they do here. Later down the road, I heard from some previous interns back at Purdue what kind of incredible work they were able to do, even as interns here, how impactful their work was, and how everything they did was kind of on the bleeding edge of what we were capable of in industry. And I saw that and I was like, that's pretty much exactly what I want to do. I've got to go.
Hi, my name is Ben Monig. I'm a machine learning intern here at Advanced Space. What brought me to Advanced Space was their work in machine learning and AI, and the work that they do right in the middle of the cutting edge, applying that to real world systems. And I wanted to put myself right in the middle of that. And so that's what brought me here.
My name is Nathan Rodriguez. I'm one of the navigation interns here. And I heard about Advanced Space through Capstone, and then I had kind of just been monitoring any job openings that Advanced Space had on LinkedIn. And when I saw the navigation intern post, I read the description and it was exactly what I wanted to do. So I applied and that's how I got here.
So I just graduated Tufts University with a bachelor's in computer science and minor in astrophysics. And then I'll be going to USC to do a master's in computer science. What I enjoy most about computer science and studying it is the community that is built around the subject, people collaborating and sharing tips on how to write good code and helping each other solve complex problems. I also really enjoy just solving problems through code, seeing solutions come to fruition by just words that I write in a computer is really, really awesome.
I'm studying spacecraft trajectory design, and I'd say the most exciting part of that is just being able to rapidly prototype different trajectories for mission concepts when the trade space is wide open. So just come up with a bunch of wild ideas, be a little creative, but also develop cool mathematical approaches to make that easier.
I just graduated with my BS in computer science at Georgia Tech. I'm starting there in the fall to do my master's also in computer science at Georgia Tech. I enjoy the program there is really good, and the culture, the people, and the teachers all just make for a great experience.
I'm studying aerospace engineering at Texas A&M. I'm currently an undergrad, but I will be pursuing a graduate degree with a focus in navigation. I really enjoy that work, and I enjoy working on projects specifically for space and just being a part of those space exploration projects.
I just finished my bachelor's at Purdue University studying aerospace engineering, and I'm going back for my master's with a specialization in astrodynamics. As for what part of it I like most, I think that the future of the industry kind of revolves around autonomy. A lot of the really interesting problems that we're looking at with like RPOs, space debris removal, asteroid mining, a lot of this kind of stuff revolves around optimal astrodynamics operations, complex SSA solutions, and a lot of autonomy. And to me, that's like taking something that was already incredibly interesting, concepts of autonomy, robotics, all these really cool things that we can study, and applying it to a domain that's both really challenging and just incredibly interesting.
I think the most exciting part about this internship was just the opportunity to work with such a wide group of experts. I had met several people at Advanced Space, either from university or at different conferences around the country. I could tell everyone was excited, working on really cool stuff, and that's something I wanted to be a part of.
I knew before coming in the kind of culture that they have around here. So everyone I interacted with before coming to Advanced Space and the stories I'd heard from them taught me that the people here are super forward-thinking, right? And they prioritize learning and growth above all else. I knew that advanced space is a place where people grow really quickly, and I was just a fan and really excited to be a part of that culture.
One of the more surprising things was, even though this company has grown, it still feels like a startup in some ways. Everyone's really tight. The 4th of July barbecue is a ton of fun. It's really easy to knock on anyone's door and get some help with different projects. And altogether just has a really cool, tight feel as a company.
The culture by far. Everyone here at Advanced Space is so skilled at what they do, and they do it at such a fast-paced, high level. And then we also just have a great sense of camaraderie, and everyone gets along and works together. It's been really cool to be a part of that.
I would say definitely just the work culture. This is my first internship, so maybe I don't really know much about other companies, but I feel like there is really not a corporate culture here. I think everyone feels very close-knit and everyone's really friendly. So yeah, it's been a great experience just getting to know everyone. So one thing I really liked about interning here was my projects don't feel like intern projects. They feel like actual projects that are contributing to the team directly, and like some of my mentors said, the stuff that I'm working on can actually be, or will actually be, flown on future missions in space, which is really cool to think about. So yeah.
I definitely do feel like I get the opportunity to contribute quite a lot. So, I mean, Advanced Space obviously is a very capable company. They've gotten to prove themselves time and time again with missions like Capstone and Escapade. And they, like their name, are truly dedicated to advancing space. So that being said, I think all the intern projects are also super involved, and they're really important. They're things that the company actually cares about. So it feels like every minute that I spend working on work here actually furthers what we're able to do with space and contributes to the development of the ecosystem that we have here. And it's been a great experience.
Yeah, I would say that this internship has influenced what I want to do next, with making me realize the type of projects and team that I want to work with. When it comes to projects, I really love astronomy, I love astrophysics, I love the idea of exploring space and making it sustainable for the exploration of space. So being able to work on projects like that here has been insanely cool and has made me realize that that's the type of projects I want to work on moving forward. Additionally, it's made me realize the type of team I want to work on. Advanced Space is so collaborative and so helpful, and everyone that I've met here is over the moon excited about helping me learn something new. So making sure that I work in places and spaces that honor that is really important, and has been such a wonderful experience currently.
Yeah, funny enough, it's actually maybe a little less clear about what I want to do from here. So I originally wanted to pursue my PhD and kind of explore the academic side of things for a little while, primarily because I think there's just too much to learn, a lot of things that I want to know, and not enough time to do it. But this internship has kind of shown me that there are a lot of ways to get to that goal of being super knowledgeable and building expertise on these really cool astrodynamics topics. And I know for a fact that I want to stay in industry, maybe come back here, continue growing over here, continue doing internships every summer, and see where that takes me.
I would say that in classes and even clubs, I have worked on parts of problems or parts of projects, but in this internship and the project I'm working on, I've been able to work on a full system end to end. That means writing documentation, writing tests for the code that I'm writing pipelines that are ran via the GitLab software that we use, and being able to, put my part on every part of the process is something I've never done before, and has taught me a lot about software development.
I think most things that I've been able to play around with here were completely new to me. I'm a navigation intern, so there's a lot of filtering and estimation theory, tracking different objects. And while I have learned a bit of that theory in school and apply different filters, I've never applied it to as realistic of a scenario as we work with here. We have real data that we work with, and a lot of novel challenges that come with practical limitations of working in cislunar space. So that was really new. And then a lot of my other projects involve things like applying work from academic papers that haven't really been used in industry before. So it's kind of like charting new territory and looking at the cool innovative work that people are doing in academia and taking it over here. I have full freedom with how I implement it and how it's going to fit into the bigger picture. That's been pretty valuable.
Yeah, I've learned a lot. My mentor, Brian, is really, really great, is very smart and very supportive throughout the process. One thing that he's taught me that has really stuck with me, and I feel like is gonna stick with me throughout my career in software, is to be careful about what you're coding and to not implement too much too fast. Sometimes just writing the code for what you need to accomplish now is better than making up or implementing tools or features that you might need in the future. Because as you develop, you get to talk to people, define new requirements, update old ones, and actually determine what you need in your code to solve the problem that you're facing.
Working at Advanced Space has been my introduction into the space industry. So that's been great because I've been able to learn a lot of new terms and concepts while getting a broader view of the space industry and seeing how Advanced Space fits into that.
I'm most proud of my contributions to the Artemis program. We're on a contract to support their mission design with the people down at Johnson Space Center. So I've been able to help work on abort trajectories for the upcoming Artemis 4 lunar landing mission.
That's a great question. I would say that when I started here, I thought I knew nothing. And I mean, half of that is true. The things that you learn at an internship is vastly different from what you learn at school. So don't feel bad about it. The mentors here already expect that you might not know much and are extremely eager to help you through that process of learning different tools and just different notions of software or whatever discipline that your internship is in. So don't be worried about that and just be open to learning a lot, asking a lot of questions, and maybe just not knowing many things. It's part of the fun.
I would probably tell future interns to meet as many people as they can. It's a small company, so it's easy to make a really good impression if you reach out and talk to different people. And then also, if there's a certain project or tool or something you want to work on, kind of reach out, see if there's a potential for you to get some exposure to that. There was a particular tool I was interested in using and learning how to use. I knew it would be good for my career and development, and my mentor was happy to find a project for me to do that on. So I'd just make the most of your opportunity, both by meeting people and doing things that interest you.
Always continue learning. Everyone here at Advanced Space is so knowledgeable and skilled at what they do. And so I would tell them to just take it all in and learn and talk to as many people as possible.